Han, thank you, Zaina. Welcome to all. They can all hear us, I take it, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. Look, we appreciate First Life to allow this event to take place. So I have really, it's a special event for me because I know personally every single one of the three speakers. And not only I know them personally, but also I'm working with them quite personally. So this is a unique opportunity to be able to share the great work that they're doing. Now, let me start in saying that today, as you all know, Lebanon is going through a major food crisis. This is reflecting into different dimensions. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but the three dimensions which are very important. One is crop production. The second element is food production. The third element is animal production. And across these three dimensions, you have an issue in terms of optimization of the land, optimization of energy being used, optimization of the water that is being used, the optimization of the crop being used for specific lands. So you have a number of issues, not to mention access to finance, not to mention cash flow, not to mention the increase in the prices of imported goods, raw materials, and others, not to mention, of course, all the devaluation that the Lebanese pounds have gone in. So you have a number of factors that are today severely impacting the food crisis in Lebanon and creating this food crisis in Lebanon. What we're trying to do today is to show you three examples of companies that are part of this ecosystem that are understand the challenges, address those challenges with an innovative approach, and at the same time have the ability to scale in the country and to scale outside the country. And most importantly, every one of them have a social impact. So every one of them is here in order to be able to contribute to not only the food crisis, but the crisis that is taking place in Lebanon. Now, before I introduce them, I would like to spend a few minutes describing how we met with everything, the three of them. You have in the ecosystem that we set up as Agritech, but others are also doing similar sort of works. We have what I call elements, dimensions that are creating this innovation aspect in agriculture. And one of them is we have a number of what we call ideathon and hackathon. So we start at university level, graduate students, helping them come up with interesting ideas in the agri-tech field, in the clean tech field, in the water tech field, and come up and pitch and get recognition from them. After those, we have what we call accelerators. So we have now a number of years of experience in taking these companies, helping them come up with a prototype, helping them commercialize these prototypes, and helping them basically get access to funding. One example is Mitri Harmouche, who's his wife Rita, is just graduating from the agri-tech accelerators on the Veritech. So this is one. A second dimension is the number of accelerators that are here and provide grant funding, provide technical assistance, provide coaching support to these companies, and Mitri will share a bit the outcome of it. Now, the third element is the business angels. You as life members, every one of you can be a business angels and have been a business angel. So what are we doing? We have an entity called Seeders. Both Mario Masoud, who is the managing director and founding partner at Biomass, and Mitri Harmouche, who went through Seeders, and both of them passed the pre-pitch, the pitch, and now Mitri passed also the due diligence, and Mario is in the process of going through the due diligence. So we have now a number of funds available from business angels that are here to support companies in the agri-tech field and in other fields that we have. And finally, we have Nadine is here, and Nadine not only is a wonderful leader in terms of Robertson Agri, she's also on the board of a number of those companies. She's on the board, for instance, of Ground Vertical Farming, but she has also been the founding member of Quds. Quds is the consortium of Lebanese agricultural companies. So these are companies that are in different stages of development, and they get together, they share best practices, they work on common grounds here, and this is another initiative that has been sponsored by Veritech on it, and Nadine has been a wonderful leader in this. So you have different examples of players in the different parts of the ecosystem that are here. What is the common denominator? All three of them have innovative ideas to be able to address the challenges. all three of them are wonderful leaders. And I had a chance to work with them, being it from the vision, being it from their ability to develop their strategy, being it from the way they execute. All three of them have a huge potential to grow. They can grow in the country, they can grow outside the country, and all three of them have also an impact in terms of social impact. You'll see each one of them they do, so that it's not only contributing to the small scale farmers, they work with those scale farmers, they help them grow, they help them develop new ways to water, new ways to use fertilizers, new ways to come up with better crop production behind it. So all of them have an impact and social impact that are here to address the food crisis that we do. So this is in terms of an introduction. As you know, I'm very excited about this. I believe that this is the worst time for Lebanon, but it's also the best time for innovative companies, such as the three that you have seen, that you will hear, that are here, that need funding, they need advisory services behind them, and they need partnership. And Life has an important role to play in being able to address, because a number of these Life members could be advisors, a number of these Life members could have partnership that could be of interest to those companies, and a number of the Life members could also be investors, the same way I'm investing in a number of these companies, either directly as Constantine or indirectly as part of Cedars or as part of other venture capital fund that we have. So this is in terms of an introduction. I hope I got your expectation level high. I'm going to introduce Nadine. Nadine will be the first speaker. She is the COO of Robinson Agri. She's a wonderful lady, a wonderful leader, and at the same time have a beautiful heart. And I had a chance to work with her. And she's the founding member of Coots, which is a great initiative. And we need to have other similar initiatives in Lebanon in order to share best practices among the different companies, not only in the agricultural field, but in so many other aspects where Lebanese companies can shine and grow. Nadine, the floor is yours. All the best. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Constantin, for this wonderful introduction. I will start with Robinson Agri milestone in a short slide. So it all started in 1971 when my father started a factory for greenhouses production in Lebanon. It was the first one in the region and in the MENA region. In 2000, my sister Rula and I took over, and we are two ladies heading the Robinson Agri now. So we introduced the hybrid seeds for better production, and we introduced the drip irrigation. In 2002, we made a partnership with a Dutch nursery for the production of grafted vegetables. So when we have grafted vegetables, it is for better production for the farmer, more than 30%, less use of pesticides, and for the consumer, a healthier crop and a much more homogeneous product. In 2010, we opened a management center for feasibility study and business plan for people interested to venture into agriculture. In 2013, we launched our second trial station in Batroun after Akkar. We tried there all the agri inputs before introducing them to commercialize them in the local market. In 2014, we opened another partnership with Élysée factory to produce polyethylene pipes for irrigation, for potable water, for sewage, and for energy. And because we believe a lot in innovation, in 2016, we introduced for professionals hydroponic as NFT in water or in growing bags. In 2018, we were the first company to be a member of UN Global Compact, the first company, agriculture company, and we follow some SDGs. And as Constantin mentioned before, in 2019, we were one of the founders of the first Lebanese agri-food cluster, Coot. I will not talk about 2020 and 2021. So please, next slide. So in a nutshell, we are proudly rooted in Lebanon with 60 employees and 3 branches, but we aspire to branch out into developing countries. So our mission is to shape the future of agriculture in the developing countries by continuously increasing the knowledge and know-how of our team, our clients and customers, and now you, the attendees of this webinar. We want to become the hub of smart agriculture and sustainable innovation by improving the whole food value chain, and of course following the SDGs, because we want to be the leader in the change, the leader of change in this sector. We want to be the catalyst for modernizing the agriculture sector in Lebanon and in the developing country. And this cannot be done without perseverance, without social responsibilities, business ethics, and of course, innovation, but innovation with purpose. Next, please. So in 2021 and in 2020, we had to think differently. We had to increase our innovation, to increase how we think with innovation. It was not easy because we had a lot of challenges. But we introduced a new innovative practice in onion production in Lebanon with We4F. So usually onion in Lebanon are irrigated by sprinklers, and we replaced them by drip irrigation and by mini sprinkler. This contributes to water preservation, so saving on water more than 50%, of course less energy consumption and less CO2 emission, in addition to uniform bulbs, higher yields, and new markets. So we wanted during this disrupted 2 years, 2020 and 2021, to build on our strengths. So what we did is that we made some fundraising with different NGOs, such as Lebanese Food Bank, Seed Me to Feed Me, Farmland, to tackle mainly the vulnerable growers, because these vulnerable growers were a lot affected by the economic crisis. So what we did is we provide them with these NGOs, all their operation costs, and in return, these farmers would provide to the NGOs some of their produce, some of their return. And we wanted also to make a difference. So what we did is we wanted to transform the coming new investors into growers. So for people from you now in this webinar who are interested to venture into agriculture, fruits and vegetables mainly, it is a booming industry due to the healthy, convenient and living trend. So 32% of world population diet. The global market is almost worth 246 billion euro and expected growth in 2022, 7.1%. So it's a good investment. Also, because without digital, we cannot move forward. We introduced root service. This is to bring fresh produce to the end consumer, but into full circle. What I mean with this is providing a new produce, new specialties, bring healthy recipes, introducing also dietitians for the people interested for diets and more, for healthy diets. Next, please. Also to build on our strength, and we believe that technology is the main issue here, and to be able for our greenhouse to scale, we made a partnership with CHIP for automation of the greenhouse, and we made a partnership with UFarm for vertical farming and mushroom production. We always supported the startups and the students from university, agriculture students, but we believed a lot in ground vertical. That's why we made an MOU with them to be able to give them all our expertise in this field so they can grow internationally. We are also bringing new certificates on board, and we want to become West Africa leading provider of greenhouses. I will, in a small summary, I will tell you what we did during these 10 years as innovative projects. So we were the one to introduce the modernization of carrots production. Before 10 years, we planted only in Lebanon 20 hectares of carrot. Now it is 200 hectares with mechanization, with controlled atmosphere, and we are able to export to many countries in the world. Also, we produce chain supply and concept branding because we believe in the agriculture and especially in the vegetables, healthy vegetables of Lebanon. And because water is a main issue in Lebanon, We did a high-tech filtering system. We are doing a large project irrigation to reduce water consumption. Also, because we believe in our capital and in Beirut, we launched a special rose by the name of Beirut Rose, which was followed after by Byblos Rose. And before the COVID, we used to do every year something called Lab Agri Innovation Day, where we introduced to the supermarket chains and to the consumer all the new trends coming in the agriculture in Lebanon and all the new produce and the new crops. And lately, what we did is we introduced new products such as herbs or microgreens, and one healthy snacks called Snips, which is an international brand, but where we grow the produce in Lebanon, and it is sold in Lebanon under international brand. So this is Robinson Agri in a few words. Thank you all for listening. I would like to add that a thriving agriculture sector creates a thriving country. And this is your opportunity to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadine. Couldn't have said it better. And really appreciate all the work that we do. Now, just for to complement what Nadine has said, not only is she helping companies and startups like Ground Vertical that I'll be introducing next, but also she has applied together with other companies, but both companies today, being it Robinson Agri and Biomass, have applied to this WE4F program. This is a program funded by USAID, funded by the German GIZ, managed by agritech as part of a consortium. And this is a program over 4 years, extended by another 4 years, where we'll be going to take 100 companies like Biomass, like Robinson Agri, provide them with fresh money, grants up to $300,000, fresh technical assistance in terms of up to $100,000, but most importantly, address whatever technical assistance problems they have and make them investment ready to be able to meet and partner with investors across the MENA region, not only in Lebanon, but across the region. So, and we believe that these programs are here, and some of these programs are focusing only on Lebanon. And these are not programs with $1 or $2 million. These are programs coming in with $75 or $100 million that are here to boost the Lebanese small, medium size and social enterprises through grants and through technical assistance. So these are two examples that we have that are here. Nadine, thank you. Thank you for being who you are, for volunteering like you've been doing with a number of those companies. Much appreciated. We're going to take your questions after the 3 presentations. So we're going to leave enough time for you to be able to ask your questions. So just bear that in mind. You could put them on the question board on the, and then we'll address them as effectively as we can for this. Now I'm going to introduce Mitri. Now Mitri is here. I shouldn't introduce Mitri without introducing Rita. Both are husband and wife. I got to know Mitri through agritech. So I have the privilege and the blessing to be a mentor and a coach for a number of those agritech companies. They started between 30 companies that received grant funding and support. And from this is a 12-month program that took place. Mitri has just graduated from it, and we went through a number of rounds of board meetings, advisory meeting with him and with Rita to be able to help him articulate his value proposition and to help him reach out to investors. Not only we had this cooperation, we also managed over the past 6 weeks to have Mitri as one of the companies that pitched in front of Cedars. So Cedars, we meet every 6 weeks. For those of you who are interested, this is a business angel fund that we have launched as part of IM Capital. This is a separate legal entity. Each one of them have put a small amount of money that has been matched by other donors that are here, and we're here to support companies like Ground Vertical. So Mitri went through through Cedars, went through the pre-pitch, went through the pitch, and went through the due diligence process that took about 4 weeks behind it. And the good news is that this went successfully, and this will be one of the first agritech companies to get business angel funding in Lebanon. So why I'm saying this is because despite the tough moments, there are funds available, there are energy available, you have advisors being available, to help companies like Ground Vertical and the other companies that went through these accelerators grow. Mitri, the floor is yours. Pleasure having you with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Constantin, for your introduction. Hi, everybody. I will start my presentation, and a Lebanese greenhouse owner consumes around 15 liters of water per meter square daily. The cost to manage his greenhouse are around $4,000 per 1,000 square meter planted area, including land rental, planting, harvesting, and labor costs. There is an increased need for solutions that help greenhouse owners to optimize their agricultural space, achieve the highest yield while reducing cost. And this is exactly where we come as Ground. Ground offers a smart solution for to grow vegetables, greenery, seedlings in greenhouses. It consists of fully automated vertical panel, uniquely designed mesh, controlled by intelligent controller, and a unique software. This allows greenhouse owners to monitor planting activity, collect data, and visual key metrics on an intelligent dashboard, thus offering higher yield, lower water and energy consumption, less labor cost, all year round, irrespective with the weather and 24/7 real-time monitoring. Ground Lebanese-made solution consists of panel setup fees, growing medium, seeds and fertilizer, in addition to monthly subscription fees to operate the controller and give access to the dashboard and data metrics. Thanks to our unique and customizable growing mesh, the owner will have access to a wider range of produce, grow different crops at the same time using real-time monitoring system. So we can see, Jihan, here we can see our panels and our yield, and another slide also. Yeah, here also. So to date, we have signed many letters of intent and secured our first sale with a local greenhouse, which bought 2 panels that Ground is currently monitoring. Ground priority in 2021 are to complete the first major installation, secure funds, finalize our dashboard, add a new member to the team, and onboard new clients. We will be starting in the Lebanese market where there is an increased need for ground solutions, especially that Lebanon is shifting toward being local production and based economy. And we believe that Ground can fulfill the need of domestic market and increase export opportunities for Lebanese producers. Then we'll be growing by expanding to the MENA region. Today, to make it happen, we are seeking to raise funds that will be mainly allocated for our production development, sales and marketing, as well as salaries. To be part of a growth and help us increase our yield and lower the costs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitri. Mitri is a very humble person. You know, and this is one of the great aspects. He has a lot of experience together with Rita. They have together more than 15 years of experience in this field. And he decided to really zoom in on this project. And this project not only has innovative, i.e. IP potential, but also have the ability to be able to scale. And combining, for instance, the strengths of Robinson Agri, because they know these greenhouse owners. They've been working and selling to these greenhouse owners for the number of years, for them to leverage the sales and marketing know-how of Robinson Agri, and with the innovative idea that Mitri and Rita has put together, is one of the synergies that we're trying to create in this market. So hopefully this will give you some thoughts. Please keep send your answers on the Q&A part. I have already 2, one from Ed Hsaili and the other one from Farid Habib. Please add them and I will answer we will answer as all these questions behind. Mitri, thank you for this presentation. I'm going to introduce our last speaker. Now, the Masoud family is well known in Lebanon. They're well known because of the one of the largest distribution company in the country. But they're also well known because he is our friend. Mario has been able to basically position biomass as the de facto leader in a market that is bound to grow in Lebanon. People are concerned about what they eat, they're concerned about their health, and to have biomass products with the quality and the certification is something very important. Today, Mario has close to 90% of the bio-food in Lebanon, and he has the potential to grow and expand on these core competencies. And I'll answer one of the questions is how can we differentiate with other players that are present in Dubai, present in GCC? And I think there is clear answer how we could differentiate. So Mario, managing director and founding partner of Biomass, he is also, he has pitched to Cedars. He's also applied to WE4F in terms of a program. And we have been working together in putting the foundation in place, primarily the financial foundation in place, so as to be able to restructure the debt, be able to raise additional equity capital in order to do what? In order to be able to scale, building on his innovative approach. Mario, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Constantin. Thank you, Live. It's really a pleasure. We're going to discuss today biomass and, of course, organic farming. How important it is actually to the national sector and our plan going forward. Jinan. Thank you. So biomass in organic farming operator, we certified according to the European regulation for organic farming by the Italian certification body CCPB. We are certified for production farming activities, production of eggs or fruits and vegetables, but also for post-harvest activities, including packaging, distribution, and export. Jihan, next slide, please. Okay. We are present in three product categories. These are organic fresh fruits and vegetables, which are 100% produced locally. We also do organic chicken eggs as well. We produce them locally here in Lebanon. And the third category is grocery products, which is partly produced locally, especially for the Lebanese ethnic products. And some are imported, such as quinoa or rice products. Jihan. Thank you. We are a fully integrated operators. So we operate our own farms. We also do our own packaging centers and the distribution of the products in the Lebanese market, and we do export. But we also, all along the value and the supply chain, collaborate with partners. So we work, for example, in fruits and vegetables with more than 40 farmers across Lebanon. We also have farmers helping us in the production of organic eggs. At post-harvest activities, we'll as well collaborate with bottlers, pressing houses for olive oil, for example, agent for export markets, etc. We're present, so we've been exporting organic products from Lebanon since 2012, starting with the GCC market. Today, we also export to West Africa and soon, hopefully, to Europe. In terms of partners, we are, our farms and the partners we work with are located across Lebanon in different areas. This is to benefit from different microclimates and regions in Lebanon, but as well to increase farming capacity that is really, really needed to develop the organic farming projects here in Lebanon and in the region. Next slide, please, Jinan. Okay, so organic farming. We believe we are pioneers in organic farming in Lebanon, and we believe with regards to Lebanon and the agricultural sector in Lebanon to be a strategic sector. Lebanon, compared to Syria and Egypt, for example, or neighboring countries, are the farms in Lebanon compared to the neighboring countries are relatively smaller in size, smaller, which means that planting monocrop farms, competing on monocrop farms and traditional agriculture makes it very hard for us to do here. And organic farming is actually quite the opposite. It is very well adapted to small and medium scale farms and very adapted to the environment, the farming environment that we have in Lebanon. The second point about organic farming is that Lebanon is really rich in microclimates, in in geography, in terrain that favors biodiversity, polyculture, and the vast selection of products and food that we are able to produce locally. And organic is all about this. Organic farming is about having different activities and planting different crops. With regard to the crisis, organic farming today is really, really appropriate because it uses less resources, as well uses less intrants. All of these intrants are mostly imported, which makes organic in the yield to land ratio much more competitive today in this crisis than conventional farming. It requires also more labor, which makes organic farming a higher job creating sector or segment than conventional farming. So we strongly believe, especially in the crisis, in the economic crisis today, that organic farming has a very strong role to play in developing the industry. The fourth point is that it is a consumer-driven industry. It is expected to grow in the next 5 years by 15% annually, which makes the demand for local, regional, or international market quite interesting to cater for in terms of production and export opportunities. And finally, export. Organic farming is a controlled and certified industry, which makes very easier the access, I would say, to export markets and from Lebanon. Jinan. As well, Jinan, the next slide, please. All right, so as a company, we've been focusing the past 2 years on the following goals. Increasing our shares in export market. Today, we export 10 to 20% of our volumes that we plant locally to export markets. And we aim in the next few years to develop this to, I would say, the majority, 80 to 90% of our volumes to export markets. We've been part of several programs, export programs. We also have been in touch with Attaché Commercial, for example, in the UK to export Lebanese avocado there. Hopefully soon you'll see organic and Global Gap certified avocado in the UK. We believe we can be extremely competitive from Lebanon in export market for 2 reasons. Why? Because of our geographic location and climate conditions that we have in Lebanon. So when looking North Hemisphere countries or South Hemisphere countries, we're always in the right harvest schedule or harvest time advantage when we need to export or to be able to export products from Lebanon to markets internationally. In terms of production capacity, we've been actively looking. So for the past year, we visited more than 200 farms across Lebanon, talking to landowners, looking to develop farming projects or farming partners or everyone in the industry to increase the farming capacity. The challenge that we have is not in the demand. There's a huge demand for organic farming in export markets with existing clients, from all over the world, to be frank. But the real challenge is being able to produce more and increase this capacity here in Lebanon. What Nadine and Constantin were saying, and Mitri, increasing the standard is extremely important. We're already increasing the standard by being certified organic, but as well increasing the way we produce, quality of the harvest is really, really important, not just for export market, but as well to catch up with the different initiatives and the different and the new standards of food that's being stored globally and in the region. Again, sustainably, we're looking to introduce technology to farming, more practices, farming with sustainable practices, to make it more sustainable, to make our activity more sustainable here in Lebanon. And finally, to do all of that, we've been actively working in looking for financing to finance this growth. So we invite investors who also to participate, to help us in the growth of the company and the scaling up of our activities. We've also been working with Constantin, for example, on different donors and support programs to do this directly or with farming partners. That's it for me. Thank you.
Constantin, you're on mute.
Okay. I was muted by the host, but it's fine. Look, I'm sorry for the poor lighting behind it. Look, thank you all. And this was great presentation. I also got, as you were presenting, people and friends coming in and saying, wow, I mean, they have some huge potential in the GCC and the UAE. Why aren't they present already on it? So clearly there is potential. And we have a number of questions. So I encourage every one of you to put the questions here so that we could look at them and be able to answer them as we go. So for the moment, let me start. I'm going to start with Nadine. This is a question coming from me as I have a chance to go through all the questions. Nadine, you are looking at different scalability potential, and you've mentioned a few of these projects. What is of interest is how do you go about prioritizing one growth opportunity versus another growth opportunities. So because this is a family business, it's you and your sister working together. I think she's probably on the call here on it. So please share with us the process that you go through, in terms of prioritizing those growth opportunities that you have. Thank you.
So what we are doing is because of this disruption, we are focusing mainly on our two main pillars. The first one is to build on our strengths, as I said before, to keep what we built during these 20 years. It's very difficult now to keep what we have started, but and to provide more solution for the agriculture sector, and to be able to really to scale up locally. And mainly, we didn't think a lot about export before. Now, our main pillar, also second main pillar, is to be able to export our greenhouses. What we discovered is that because of the COVID, our mid-tech greenhouses found a suitable market share in the African market, because now the trend is local to local. So that's why we are trying to export mainly our greenhouses and to bring them automation to be able to be exportable everywhere in African market and in the developing countries. And I will add also now, because also the cost of the labor is very low now, and due to the devaluation lira. This is the only thing that is helping us now in the agriculture sector. It used to cost a lot. Now it used to cost more than 30 to 40%. Now it is very, very cheap, cheaper than India. So this is a very good also opportunity.
Very good. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you. Look, Farid Habib has asked the question. Actually, the question could apply to all three of you. I'll ask Mitri and Mario to answer. I'll provide a bit of an answer to start with. The question is, how can Lebanon compete against other countries in the region that are much more advanced technologically in vertical farming or in organic farming? And what is Lebanon's competitive advantage? So this is a question that is here. Let me try to address this one first, and then I'll leave it open to either Mitri, Mario, or Nadine to answer. Farid, one of the elements I've shared with you, the different initiatives that are coming into Lebanon. I have never seen, I'm 65, I've been working for the past 45 years. I have never seen as much money pouring into this country under grants as what's happening over the past 6 months, and most probably over the next 2 to 3 years. So there is going to be a lot of grants, a lot of technical assistance pouring into this country, and it's up to us really to make sure that we are addressing it. So this is one element which I think makes us unique, probably because of the crisis that is taking place, and probably because of the strategic importance in the eyes of those international donors of that agriculture plays in Lebanon. So this is one element. The second one is, I believe we have, I mean, you've heard these three great speakers and wonderful leaders. We're working with dozens of similar leaders across the different accelerators, across the different entities that we have. So I think we have a concentration of talent in this country, despite the fact that a number of them might be considering leaving, but there is a huge concentration of great talents that we can definitely compete with other countries. The last element, so one is money, the second one is the talent, the third one is the unique condition. I think it was either Mitri, no, it was Mario, no, Mitri also mentioned, is the microclimates that we have in Lebanon that allows us to come up with a lot of very different agricultural outputs based on, you know, these microclimate and based also on the quality of land that we have, provided that we're using the right crop, provided that we're using the right fertilizer, and provided that we are using the water in an efficient way. So this is some of the answer. Any of the speakers wants to complement? What makes Lebanon a competitive differentiation compared to other countries in the agri field? Somebody wants to volunteer?
Yes,
Mitri?
also after Mitri, I may add something also.
Very good, Nadim. Mitri, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, Constantin, we also need to say that we are designing our system. For example, I'm talking about ground. So we are designing our panel, our mesh, our dashboard also. So everything is made in-house. And as Nadine said previously, that Lebanese lira has a devaluation. So now we are becoming a competitor while designing in-house. And you're not purchasing and overpaying all these products, so you are able to compete. Plus, the Lebanese are known for their ability to design and modify. And these systems are made for the region, for Lebanon, that we have like 300 day of solar sunlight available. So we don't, maybe it's customized for the region, and Dubai and the MENA region are kind of similar. Okay, they have a desert temperature, but they have sun that are available.
Absolutely.
So these are advantages.
Thank you, Mitri. And just to mention and to underline what Mitri has said, Mitri, for instance, will be applying for the patent. So what he has in terms of the solution is patentable. So we're also encouraging innovation. We're encouraging to come up with it, protect yourself from other, if you have a clear differentiator behind it. So this is also another way to be able, a lot of the other countries are more traders. Lebanese were known as traders. How do we shift our mentality from being traders to being more of traders, but with innovation concept? Nadine, you wanted to add a few things.
Yes, I want to add on your point that don't forget we are an agriculture country since ever. So we have the experience, we have the know-how, and we do, as Mitri is doing, customized. We are not only copying what is in Europe or other countries and bringing it to the MENA region or to Lebanon. We are customizing it because we have the experience. And vertical farming is only good for some types of crops, mainly for lettuces, while ground vertical or any other customized system in Lebanon, it can be used for all crops, mainly vegetables, so not only microgreens and herbs.
Thank you.
I would like to add
Marius,
as well.
you want to add anything?
Yes, definitely. So in Lebanon, we are really blessed with the geography. I mentioned this before. I think geographically, from the coastal areas to the mountainous areas, we have microclimates and advantages in harvest calendar that no countries has in the region, nor looking north of here or south of here. So we really have opportunities of harvesting during calendar seasons when no other countries in the region or internationally are harvesting the fruits and the produce that we can produce here in Lebanon.
Thank you.
And this is extremely valuable, and this is why Lebanon has been historically one of the source or the exporter of fruits and vegetables in the region, and why we're actually renowned in our fruits and vegetables. And we have a perfect climate and the geography to do this without having to harvest prematurely the products, which gives better taste to our products. And we can reach export countries such as GCC or other countries in the region faster than other countries.
Very good. Thank you, Mario. Mario, a question for you that is here is that people are, Patrick in this case is asking, what is the definition of organic produce in Lebanon? You know, what are the standards that we have? And maybe you could tell us in terms of land, pesticide or others, what sort of certification so that you could really differentiate, because everybody is claiming to have organic food. So how do you differentiate?
So first, to be organic, you have to be certified. And in Lebanon, we don't have a regulation, an organic regulation. So what we do in Lebanon, most of the 200, 250 operators, organic operators in Lebanon, are certified according to the European regulation for organic farming. And there's a certification body here in Lebanon called CCPB. I'll be happy to share their contacts. Can provide assistance in the transformation of the farms and getting the certification according to the European standards.
Very good. Thank you. Very clear. Ed Asaili came up with a question to all three of you. We'll answer it short because we have a number of other questions. This is to all the panelists, and this is probably an important one as because of the devaluation. So what percentage of your cost relates to local labor and supply versus imported raw material, i.e. how much do you depend on imports versus local? What is the situation today, and how is the situation going to evolve over the next 2 to 3 years? So two questions. What is the percentage of local versus imports today, and how is this going to evolve over the next 2 to 3 years? Nadine, you want to start?
All our raw materials,
roughly.
Yes, all our raw materials are imported, unfortunately. So I told you before, Ed, the opportunity we have now is with our labors and with our experience, but we are still counting on the imported material. We cannot yet move without the raw material coming from abroad.
But in your cost structure, Nadine, roughly, how much of it is it like 50-50 in terms of import versus local cost? Cost?
Yeah. It's 70-30.
And how do you think this will evolve over, if you project over the next 3 to 4 years? It would still be 70-30?
No, because now we are thinking of bringing a new, not to import everything from abroad, but it will take time. It will not take 2 to 3 years. It will take 5 years and more. So it will need more time.
Very good, clear. Mario?
So the ratio today or before the crisis was 40-60, so 40 import, 60 local. The way it's evolving is going to be 85% local to 90% local. I'll give a simple example. A tree is planted in Lebanon. Every year we have a harvest season. We need to plant more trees which are imported. But once the trees are planted, we won't import anymore, and we have increased our farming capacity.
Very good, Mario. This is a very important point. By the way, your video is frozen.
I don't know why.
You look worried, and I know you're not a worried person. On the so Nadine is smiling for you. So you're much better now. Okay. So we have. So look, I just want to underline this, and this is quite important for most of the companies that we work with. There is a dual elements behind. What Mario has said is that he's shifting his cost structure where it is going to be primarily local. Local means what? Lebanese pound. As the Lebanese pound devaluates, this would have a huge impact on his gross profit margin and his profitability. Coupling this with the other trend that we didn't ask him is how much of his business is export today versus local markets, and how much is it going to be in 4 years down the road? I think you mentioned it in the presentation. What percentage of the business is local and what percentage will be in export, Mario?
So today we roughly are at 15 to 20% in export market, and the objective is to be 80 to 90% in the next 5 years. But the way things are happening, I think in the next year and a half or 18 months, we'll reach 60% to 70% of the business outside of Lebanon.
Very good. The combination of these two elements is actually a great winning combination that would help. Mitri, I know you're just starting in terms of launching and you have your first project, but if you look at your first project that you have the big greenhouse that you will be implementing, what percentage of your cost is going to be local versus imported, Mitri? Can you share this with us?
Yeah, for now, for example, if I'm talking about raw material, we are about 50-50, we can say. But yes, as we are a new startup and launching, so maybe sometime you need to you're not doing in-house, so you're paying more. So maybe we are achieving like 60%, but we are aiming to decrease it while we start our own production and when we buy our own machines.
Okay, Bahish is asking you the 3 questions in terms of, this is to Mitri. Have you thought of leveraging international vertical farming companies to share technologies so you speed up development? And what type of products do you produce? Have you expanded to, can you expand this? So give us an idea about the potential portfolio of products that you could do with vertical farming.
Yeah, first, we are working to contact other company in outside Lebanon to maybe benefit from their experience and share their experience. So this is what we're working on. And concerning our vegetable production, we are testing many plants, and we are working with Nadine and Robinson on working. We will be installing our first panels at Robinson for big testing, and we'll be testing like many plants, not only greenery. This is where we are working on.
Excellent, thank you. Zena Karam is coming up with the question. She's asking me, I'm going to ask the three speakers, can crops like turmeric be produced in Lebanon, which is used on a very large scale in pharmaceutical companies, and which can be exported? Any one of you have thought of the idea of planting turmeric? Is there any, is the land open for this? Mario, Nadine, any feedback on turmeric?
All root vegetables, turmeric, ginger, can be planted in Lebanon. I know that some trials were made last year. I'm not sure where they stand today, but yes, definitely it can be done.
Is this something that you're considering in your growth initiative, or not for the moment?
Among others, yes.
Among others. Nadine, any comments?
Yes, we can plant a lot of medicinal plants in Lebanon, and because before we didn't choose to do this, now we are on a trial phase just to see if it's cost-wise, it's cheaper than the produce coming from India or from Nigeria or from somewhere else. But we put in mind, with all the biodiversity we have, we can plant anything.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Now there are two questions. One from Nadbad, so I don't know if it's Nadine or Nadia or Nada.
Nadine.
And from Sirine, Nadine. Okay, very good. So Nadine, and from Siren Radwan. So regarding to cedars. So the question is it a vehicle for investing in diversified mix of projects? Okay. Cedars' raison d'être is to encourage companies like Mitri. In most cases, these are companies that are either pre-seed or these are seed type of funding, that is, but we're also diversifying and looking at alternative. And Mario, for instance, pitched last week in front of the business angels. So what is Cedar? It's business angels such as myself. We put in, the amount is put in, is the question, is it in local dollars or in US? This is in local dollars, so we're funding in local dollars, but we also have a portion that will be in fresh money. But today, the money that we provide is in local dollars because we've been existing for the past 3 years. We've put in 15,000 each. When you are 30 or 40 or 50, this piles up. If it's matched by other donors, this comes up to about $1.5 or $2 million. And this amount of money is used in order to be able to fund companies. You can Google Cedars, SEEDERS. Who can apply for it? Any company that have an innovative idea that is scalable, that has the potential to not only to scale, but also to generate social impact can apply. But we need to have some sort of innovation in it. And you have here 3 examples of innovation. Be happy to provide you with the contact. Nuruddin is the person who will be filtering. I'm part of the team that would be evaluating your pre-pitch, and of course we'll be there for your final pitch behind it. So it's in local dollars. So if some of you who have local dollars in your banks are interested in making them for good reasons, this is an opportunity to do it. I strongly encourage you to do this. And but there will also be fresh dollars being in the future round. This is our 4th fund. We've been present for 4 years. We're closing our 4th fund, and we will be launching our 5th fund. So this is for Cedars, and feel free to reach out to me in case you need to have contact. What was the other questions? I forgot. Anyway, so we have, okay, this is clear. Lebanon has been, Roger Karam, Lebanon has been hurdled by land costs. How can we mitigate land costs in one of the most dense countries in the world and remain competitive? Okay, so this is about land costs. Maybe in this case, Nadine, you want, or Mario. Mario, both of you are landowners. So how do you mitigate against the land costs in a country like Lebanon, which is heavily densely populated?
Should I start?
Go ahead, Mario.
Okay, so what we've done with the crisis, especially what we've done is come up with a share of harvest with landowners and farmers. So instead of renting or buying land, we've associated with landowners or farmers to develop new farming projects and agreed on sharing the harvest with them.
Okay.
Yes, and second, this is where technology play a role. You don't need so much land in order with the new technology. So with a small land, you can do a lot. You can have more than 70 to 80% more production. We will not grow in Lebanon soya seeds or a lot of grains. But what we are good is mainly fruits and vegetables, and is this where technology can play a huge role?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bahi, Rubril question has been answered in terms of the numbers. So Mario answered and Nadine answered in terms of Mitri too, in terms of the importance of export. And export will take more and more, so we could remove the question. There is an anonymous attendee. The question is an interesting one. It goes to, I will share it to Nadine and to Mario. He's a landowner or she's a landowner and would like to plant it organically. What is the possibilities to collaborate with local companies to do it? This is located in the Nahr Ibrahim Valley region. Mario, any interest in, or Nadine, have you been cooperating with landowners who are interested to collaborate with you? Have you done it in the past?
Yes, this is what we are doing now in 2020, 2021. We want people like you coming and call us, and because we believe that it's gonna be a big and a good investment for you, so we can cooperate together in many ideas. So yes, please call us or call Mario, and especially if it's been 100 years that it's not planted, so it's suitable for organic. So for sure, we are ready to help and to cooperate.
Thank you.
We do this every day, so please reach out, and we're happy to help anywhere we can and to collaborate, of course.
Excellent, thank you. My good old friend Amal Torbe Shaheen is reminding me it's not only Cedars, it's Cedars and Elwaf. It's definitely Elwaf is the Lebanese woman angel entity. We work together. So this is, of course, collaboration, and Amal has been present for the past 3-4 years. She has also been on the board of several of the companies that we decided to fund on it. So this is very important to note. It's not only we have, and we are actually encouraging a lot of female entrepreneurs. Mitri has Rita working with him. Nadine is working with her sister. We want to see more women in these entrepreneurial leadership position on it. And I'm sure Mario will find a great lady to complement his skills. Yes, Mario?
Yes.
And Nadine will help him in the process. Okay, so Ramzi, we have a couple of more questions. I'm doing some research about aquaponics. Can this be a profitable solution for organic food production? Okay, this is an important one. So aquaponic, could it be profitable for organic food production? Mario?
So soilless farming systems, so aeroponics, hydroponics, aquaponics are not allowed in the European regulation for organic farming. They're allowed to be used as maybe irrigation, and this could be considered, yes. And they're also allowed in the US regulation, but not in the EU. Okay,
Nadine, anything you want to add?
No, it's not yet. We cannot say they are organic. They are integrated pest management, so very low pesticides and fertilizer, but not yet organic.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Karim Abbas from Paris, as a business model, is Lebanon better suited to be a supplier of agri equipments and solutions that optimize crop production in other countries, or actually produce the crops in Lebanon? Which one could be more competitive in? Any recommendation?
I would say producing it.
In producing it. And I'm sorry, Mario, in the second part of the
yes,
second.
Yes, so produce, okay. so planting, farming the yes. Products.
Okay, very good. Great. Mitri, I'm going to ask you a question. This is not on the list here. You've gone through 12 months of agritech. This is an accelerator. You and Rita have gone through it. You attended webinars, you attended coaching sessions. You also had the privilege to go through Cedars in terms of a company that posted. Just give me 1 or 2 elements in which these 12 months with agritech and the past 2 months with Cedars helped you. to become a more successful entrepreneur on it? Can you give me one or two elements where this was of value to you as an entrepreneur? Thank you.
When we started like a year ago or a year and a half ago, it was an idea, and it was just an idea, and we didn't know from where we start and so on. And we applied to agritech, and from that we started by taking all the session and the coaching session and training and so on, and all these courses. And after the idea was really working, so we need to promote it. So we were introduced to Seeders, and we applied to Seeders, and afterward we are in process of getting the fund. We hope so. So this will allow us to establish our business. So with agritech and Seeders are complementary in a way. We were able to start our company and establish our company. So yeah, from an idea to a company, this was a year. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Bahi Gabriel came up. I mean, he said, Constantine, you didn't answer my question. It's good that you come back on it. Now, clearly export will be growing, not only in the agricultural field. A lot of the initiatives that have hindered and mentioned in terms of USAID funded, you have another one that has been announced about 2 weeks ago. This is about $75 million that they are investing. Their focus is on encouraging export. So there is a lot of attention, there is a lot of money, there is a lot of resources, there is a lot of expertise in helping companies, Lebanese companies export, because with the devaluation, and this devaluation unfortunately might continue because the situation is very difficult in Lebanon, and it might continue to be difficult for the next 2 years. The more the local currency devaluates, the stronger will be the companies to be able to export, because their cost structure, especially if a big chunk of their cost structure is local, will end up being extremely competitive. So do I have the exact details? I don't. Nadine, do you have it? Mario, do you know how much exports in the agriculture place is taking?
No, but I know it's increased a lot in 2020, especially for fresh produce like grapes, like oranges, like cherries. So because we have a window in Lebanon where we can export to Europe, where other countries don't have their produce yet. So it increased more than 20%.
Excellent.
Only this year.
Yes. Nadine, thank you very much. The last question again from Bahi is towards Mario Moore. Is Turkey a competitor? They, as organic products and also target export markets in Europe, they have a large country, and especially also that the Turkish lira has been devalued, as you know, not as much as the Lebanese one. Is Turkey could be a competitor in terms of organic in your business, Mario?
Definitely, yes. They already are, Constantin, a competitor. They are quite a big country with a lot of trading activities. Now, in organic, size, being a large country doesn't really matter, but because of the trading activities and the geopolitical presence, have been quite present in the region. But again, organic is the fastest food growing segment, and I think there's a role to play for every country in the region, including Lebanon and Turkey.
Very good. Thank you. Look, I want to close it now, wrap it up. Appreciate Nadine, Mitri, Mario, many thanks. Great presentation, great pitch that you have done. It's wonderful working with you, and thank you for sharing this experience with the Life member. I also want to thank the Life team. In this, I mean, I work closely with Zena, but Jihan and the others. This is a great platform. And my last message is the pledge. It's a pledge to all of you. You've heard these companies. You've seen how innovative they are. You've seen their potential not only to scale, but also to export. And you also have seen the social impact that they are creating, working with small-scale farmers and helping these small-scale farmers become more productive and raise out of poverty with them, of course, with their families on it. So all those companies and many more are always looking for the right partners, are always looking for investors if investors are interested, and they're looking for advisors. So if you're interested, reach out. We're here. We'd love to hear from you on this thing, and you will get the contact details of the four of us in the slide set that will be circulated to the rest of the team. Many thanks again. A wonderful thank you again to the live team. Nadine, Mitri, Mario, all the best. And we look forward to another opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Merci.